The FAO Forest and Farm Facility, FFF, was launched in Kenya in November 2014 by Food and Agricultural Organization FAO in the two counties of Nakuru and Laikipia. The vision of FFF is to see that smallholders, communities and indigenous peoples and women's organizations have improved livelihoods and decision-making over forest and farm landscapes, access better markets, and strengthen the governance structure. The Food and Agricultural Organization FAO, Forest and Farm Facility FFF, has provided small grants to 12 producer organizations in the pilot counties to enable them kickstart their businesses. Between 29th May and 3rd June 2016, the FAO Forest and Farm Facility FFF program in Kenya, in collaboration with the Uganda National Forest Authority NFA and Uganda Tree Growers Association UTGA, organized for an exchange visit to Uganda to expose the FFF grantees and support institutions with new approaches in forest and farm enterprises in Uganda. The Kenya delegation with 36 participants was led by Oscar Simanto, FFF coordinator, and Philip Kisoyan, National FFF facilitator. The participants included a wide range of stakeholders from forest and farm producer organizations, Farm Forestry Smallholder Producers Association of Kenya, National Alliance of Community Forest Associations, Kenya National Federation of Farmers, Kenya Tree Growers Association, Kenya Forest Service, and the We Effect organization.
We are very happy to receive you. We would like to encourage you to continue until everybody understands about trees.
On the first day of the visit, the group was involved in workshops and meetings at the National Forest Authority in Kampala with their Ugandan counterparts.
80% of the resources are raised by the NFA. Now to sell the product, government has given us that authority. We also license people to plant trees in Central Forest Reserves. We are supposed to promote partnerships within the communities and also the private sector.
Deforestation, when we cut down the trees or degrade our forests, we are emitting more and more carbon dioxide. And if you look at this, it is third to energy and industry in emitting carbon dioxide. Red Plus is about reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation.
Services to our members. Number one is lobbying and advocacy. Improved seed importation, and we do that most especially from Brazil and South Africa and Australia. Collective procurement of chemicals and tools. We certify nurseries and contractors, training, cluster and other meetings, technical visits to members' forests, and then of course laying foundation to harvesting and markets. Communication, information sharing, networking, public awareness is very critical for us. Our members get a monthly online newsletter just to tell them what is happening in the sector and elsewhere.
We want to apply these lessons among our forest and farm produce organizations so that we organize them into formidable associations that are empowered and that are able to speak for their members and also advocate for fair policies, fair trade policies within the framework of national forestry development.
On the second day, the group visited smallholder agroforestry farmers and producers and commercial tree planters forest associations. This was coordinated in Mityana with support from the Mityana Mubende District Farmers Association, where the focus of the interaction was on how smallholder agroforestry farmers and producers in Mityana promote different farm agroforestry enterprises to boost their livelihoods. We do a lot of farming activities, like rearing of chicken, goat keeping, and crop farming. We cultivate different types of crops. We plant coffee, bananas, trees, groundnuts, beans, chili, and many others. The size of my land is 10 acres, on which I do all these activities. After selling our farm products, we save some money in our group and later borrow money from within the group to promote our farming activities.
We need to encourage our farmers to be mixed farmers. That is, when you have manure from livestock, it goes to crops. And then the crops also have maybe peelings, which can be eaten by the livestock. So that's how we move.
Still in Mubende, the group visited the Mubende forest owners to learn on forest value addition and financial services available to forest farmers in the area.
I have 1,000 hectares of both pine and eucalyptus. Hectares, that is about 2,500 acres. I started in 2000 planting. I rented the land from the Uganda National Forest Authority on a concession of 50 years, renewable to 100 years. We acquired quality seed like this one here you see from Queensland, Australia. And this is what we planted here. It is very, very good. Seed is straight, it grows tall, and if you thin them in time, they will give you a very good girth. Volumes will be assured.
They were also taught on advantages of timber sawing machines with high recovery rate, like the wood miser, promotion of certified tree nurseries, and use of cloning techniques to ensure high-quality timber products.
Back home in Kenya, farmers are still using chainsaw, which is, it's a lot of wastage, and you move around in timber yards, you see huge mountains of sawdust. But here in Uganda, farmers are embracing the new technology, which is quite good.
We are already getting inquiries from Sudan, Kenya, and Rwanda for quality timber. Most importantly, you have to identify a proper seed. I don't want you to repeat the mistakes I made myself. I started by getting seedlings where I found, and I planted over 100 hectares. I had to cut it down. As you will see, I have already cut it down and replaced it without any commercial value.
On the third day, the group visited Kenjonjo region in the morning to learn how to strengthen forestry development and coordinate farmers at the community, district and inter-district levels.
We signed a CFM or collaborative forest management with the local community, who have now joined hands to ensure that we manage that forest called Matiri Central Forest Reserve together. They have a nursery which they volunteer, provide their own labor, produce seedlings, and out of these seedlings they are able to plant on their lands, and at the same time even sell to generate some revenue for their own income. We have seen an improved or active engagement in forest protection. Before the agreement was in place, the whole talk was it is NFA's work.
In mid-morning, the group was within Ruwenzori, where it visited Mpanga Tea Plantation, planted forests and natural forests within the company's estate. The farmers were keen to learn how the private sector has involved organizations in forest promotion and conservation. To wind up the tour, the Kenyan farmers held fruitful discussions with an organization known as Joint Efforts to Serve the Environment, JESE, on challenges facing the Forest Forum in Uganda. They were also taught on community-based mobile phone application for monitoring illegal timber trade.
So we came up with the ICT to see that it tries to sort out those challenges. How it works is that it disseminates the information to various people at once in our respective places.
According to Kisoyan, the participants were impressed with the progress made by the various stakeholders to create an enabling business environment for farm and forestry enterprises.
We have committed our smallholder producer associations that were part of this visit to ensure that we implement at least one or two lessons that were learned in this tour. And we believe that if we could implement that, it could create a difference in terms of productivity for our smallholders, and it's something that can be actually be scaled up.